Hey everybody, it's Josie. Welcome back to Cedar Creek Homestead. Well, I'm out this morning watching the day wake up, having a cup of coffee. I have the little puppy out here. She's working on house training, and Sadie and Chief are learning to like her. Chief, he's already liked her. Sadie, the bigger little dog that you just saw walk behind me, she's not as sure that she likes the puppy. I think it's just, she's letting the puppy know that, hey, I am the ramrod around here and you're going to line up. So anyway, I'm out here enjoying the morning. A few mornings I have come out and there's been a doe out here, and she's bedding her baby down in this back pasture behind me, closest to the house. And you never see them. The pasture is going to be brush hogged before long, but she's got that baby bedded down. It kind of surprises me that she's doing that because I do have Chief and Sadie are outside dogs, and they watch the property pretty good, at least close up here by the house. But I think the coyote presence is pretty heavy right now, that she feels secure bringing that baby in here and it resting back there. Even though the dogs are close, she feels more secure here. And it's sweet to watch them in the mornings when Mama has been out feeding and doing her thing, and she comes and gets her baby to start the day. And they usually go out through there, and I see her her tail flagging, and it's just beautiful to watch the morning wake up. The birds are beginning to sing. You can hear them. And the train just went by a little bit ago, and during the day when the train goes by, later in the day, Rowdy loves trains, and he at first thought they were going to get him, the train was going to get him, but now he's fallen in love with trains, and it's so cute to see him lined up there at the edge of the porch, at the porch railings, watching the train as it goes by, especially the longer trains. We've had quite a week here on the homestead. We've had a couple of things happen here, not bad things, but sometimes you just really can't make this stuff up. It's just the way things go. One, when you live on a farm, and two, when you have children. A couple of days ago, we were taking a break, and Rowdy came over to me, and we have the little puppy, and Rowdy came over to me, and I caught nose and I caught dog food. And when it sunk in what he was saying, I thought surely not. And so I kind of got a hold of his little face and kind of looked at him, and I could tell that his nose did look like he was having an issue with it. And so I got my phone out with the flashlight and shined it up his little nostril. I told Cheyenne, I said, he did put the little kibbles, the puppy kibbles up his nose, dry food kibble. So I thought, what in the world are we gonna do? And I remember seeing a Instagram or a Facebook reel, one or the other, of this child at the doctor that had stuck a little Lego or something up their nose, and the doctor had cleared it, and I had packed that away in my memory in case we ever needed it, not thinking that we really would. But you know how children are, and of course Rowdy is our he's living up to his name, and so he did have that. And so I tried what I remembered of this doctor doing this particular thing with not much success. And I didn't panic because without being too nasty and gross, dog food is going to get soft and it would be able to get out of his nose easier than a piece of plastic toy like a Lego or something like that, or a bean that's hard. So I wasn't real panicked, but Cheyenne did call Blade and for moral support. And we got him laid down and tilted his little head back. It was just right there, but their nostrils are so little, you just can't get it even with a fingernail or anything, and she didn't want to push it any further back, but she very gently tried to use tweezers, and it just wasn't going to go. And so we got to thinking about what I had tried to begin with and what I had tried. And by the way, I'm no doctor, y'all know that, and I'm not giving any kind of medical advice. I'm just telling you what I did. At first, I remember that you plugged something and blew into something else, and so I was thinking that you plugged the clear nostril, or that you plugged the mouth and blew into the clear nostril. That was not what it was. So Cheyenne, she quickly typed it on, pulled it up on her. She quickly pulled it up on her phone, and what we were actually supposed to do was plug, cover the clear nostril and blow into the mouth. And so I did that, a couple of quick breaths, and out the dog food came. So we averted that situation, or at least we cleared the situation. We didn't avert it, it happened, but we did clear the situation. So we showed you the video where we hatched out baby chickens, and we did have a few that didn't hatch. I candled a couple of different times and took out ones that didn't look like they were viable. We've done the final candling before we shut the babies down, and if you want to see all of the steps of that, then our next batch of babies, we're possibly going to be bringing in some duck eggs to do the same thing, to incubate. I can show you that process of setting them in the incubator, and when we go back and we candle the eggs, and all of the steps that it takes to when you get to lockdown, and the humidity levels and all that. I have a big cabinet incubator from Georgia Quail Farms that we love, and it's really easy to do, and it sets a lot of eggs. You can set one tray, or you can set multiple trays of different eggs. And so anyway, so I shared with you that we did hatch those babies out, and we had success. And I told you that we had one baby that I had to assist, and normally they don't want you to do that, but I could tell that the egg had kind of, not the egg itself, but where it had pipped, and it pipped, probably about a nickel size, and it had struggled for quite a while to get out of the egg, and others had hatched out and they were all fluffy and ready to go, but this little chicken was having problems. And so what I did was I removed that shell very, very carefully, and let the baby stay in the incubator where the humidity and the temperature and everything was good for those hatching eggs. So I removed all the little babies that were ready, all the little fluffy, gorgeous little babies, to their new home, and left that baby in there. And I explained that on the video, that we left it in there and we were hoping for the best. That evening, when we went back to check on all of the babies, make sure their food and their water and their heat, everything was good, and that they were doing good. And we checked several times, multiple times a day, because now the heat is here, and we want to make sure that everything is set right with them. We also went and checked on that baby, and it was still alive, and it was kicking its little legs, and it was, chirping and doing all of the things, but it was obvious that the baby, that substance inside the egg had stuck. The baby's wings was stuck to its body. So it was obvious at that time that we needed to intervene even more than I already had. So we could leave the baby and see if it would get any better, or I was going to have to intervene and take a chance of bringing it into the house and cleaning it up. We have to be very careful when they're babies, that they don't get chilled. And that was something, our house is air conditioned. We were leaving a warm area that the baby was in, with the humidity and the heat and all of the things that it needed. But I really didn't have an option. So we had a baby chicken spa day. We took the little chicken in, and we first wrapped it with a warm, moist towel, just to start getting that stuff loosened from its body. It was all over its head, and like I said, its wings were pinned down, its little thighs were pinned down. And so we got it moistened, but we could tell that it was going to take more. So we got a little bowl of really, really warm, soapy Dawn soapy water with using Dawn dishwashing liquid. And I cradled the little chick in my hand and put it down in the bowl. And I just washed and washed and washed. Used my hands like this to get the wings, get the stuff washed off the wings and free them, and just gently wash and cleanse the baby. It took a little bit of work for the stuff that was on its head, because you have to be extremely gentle, even more so, really. No. Even more so than you would your littles, because this little tiny creature is so small. We got the baby chick all cleaned off, and then I held it as Cheyenne used the blow dryer, and we blow dried it and got it as fluffy as we could and dry under the wings, all the things that you would do. And we decided the best course of action was to put the baby in with its brothers and sisters and just see if it would make it. Get it under the heat lamp, offer it water, and you could tell for sure which one was that baby because it was smaller than the other chicks. With the different breeds, we got 3 different breeds of baby chicks to hatch out, and some were smaller, and that particular chick was one of the smaller ones. And so yesterday morning I went out not really knowing what to expect, but hoping for the best. We got the little baby chick back in with its brothers and sisters. Okay. So the next morning I went out not really knowing what to expect, but hoping for the best. And there was that little baby chicken, fluffier than it had been. It was still a little bit small, still not as fast as the other chickens. You could tell that it had been the last one to get hatched out. But by yesterday evening when I checked, it was up and around and running with everybody else, and it's getting a little bit harder to pick out which one of them is the one that had the issue, because there are several that, now that there are several that are, at least now that the baby's fluffed out like it should be, close to the very same size. And so we're thankful that we were able to have a spa day with that baby chick and save its little life. And you know, you just never know what to expect every day here on a farm, and probably where you live too. There's things that happen unexpectedly, not always a bad thing, just some things that you have to readjust and take care of and pick up and go on. So really what I wanted to spend time with talking to you about is all of the things that we're seeing in the news. And this is not a political thing. This is just, we see all of the things that's going on in the world. And I know that some of these things are scary. Some of these things really can cause people to be fearful and wring their hands and really, really worry, especially if you haven't made any kind of preparation. And we've been doing our videos, our back to basic videos, just to kind of to help those of you that need a jumping off spot, a place to begin your journey. And we're going to continue to do that, add videos of different things that you can do to add to your stock and get you started on the journey. And so I was thinking about what it would be like if you woke up and you heard all of this news about those Middle East countries and all the things that are going on. And I know people breathed a sigh of relief when we heard that that there had been a ceasefire brokered. And then, you know, that arose again when we heard that the ceasefire had been broken with, you know, not even halfway through. So I know that people are scared and people are fearful and really don't know what to do. And that is one of the reasons why you want to prepare, is so that you take the fear and you take the worry out of the day-to-day stuff. You don't have to worry about, well, if something happens, I'm not going to be able to go get groceries. I'm not going to be able to go get medical supplies. I'm not going to be able to go get the things that I really, really have need of. And then when you take those things off the board. That's why people stress. You're seeing a lot of people putting things on about preparing and putting back and doing these things, and they're not suggesting, and neither am I and Cheyenne, that you hoard stuff away. We're not telling you to do that, but we are telling you to build your supply so that in those times where it seems so crazy and so chaotic, and that you don't want to get out and you don't want to go, and y'all have to pardon me, the sun is chasing me around the table this morning out here where I'm sitting, so that you don't have to be out and worried and fearful and stressed, and that's any part of your life. Y'all know my story of how when Howie passed, it was a long time before I ever had to really go and buy any serious big bill of groceries, because we had stocked, and we continue to stock for ourselves so that our family is secure in that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some people think that Christians shouldn't do that because the Bible says take no thought for tomorrow. But I think that it's wise to prepare like Joseph prepared, that that dream was there of the 7 fat calves and the 7 skinny calves. And that was given so that Joseph could prepare, and for not just for Egypt, but for his people that were going to come and come in and have need. And the Lord made a way of preparation. And he's speaking to our hearts and telling us that we need to do these things so that we can be prepared in times that things may not be the greatest. Now, it may not be wars, and it may not be conflicts, and it may not be, big attacks and massive things, and we hope that it's not. But if it is, or if it's a family dilemma or a job loss or whatever the case may be, if you could take one little thing off of your worry list, how much better it's going to be for you. Now, we need to realize that there's a lot of things that are going on in the world that we may not understand, and we have no control over it all. But we cannot let ourselves live in a place where fear paralyzes us, gets us to a place where we can't move, that we can't do anything. Sometimes part of the battle and part of the plan that the enemy has is to get you to a place where you're scared to do anything. And we just can't allow ourselves to not live. We can't allow ourselves not to enjoy being with our families and doing things. Now, I'm not saying that we don't need to be cautious about what we do and where we go, but we need to make sure that we're living our lives and enjoying the life that the Lord gave us. Some people crave excitement and crave go all the time, and there's some of us that crave quiet and crave just a peaceful life, and that's where I'm at. I love a peaceful life. I don't like the chaotic, but nonetheless, both sides of the coin, both ways that people like to live, is better when you have peace and you have joy in your life and you're not worried about all of the things. My advice would be do your best to get out of debt the best you can. Get out of that debt that's hanging over your head. And that's me included. I have debt as well. And we're trying to do our best to get that cleared. And sometimes that means sacrificing things, selling some of your extra things as emergency money, or to use that money to pay off something else. And I've had to make some hard choices here at the farm. We've made some hard choices of selling some things that we have had that, as we've had a bigger cow herd, we had feeders, and we had all of these different trailers and tractors and haulers and all this stuff. And some of those things have been used to pay down debt. And, a lot of people don't understand that. People will make you feel guilty for that. But you have to do what's best for your family. And so maybe you have an extra car that you say, okay, let's sell this extra car and pay our debt. Don't sell the extra car and use it to go buy some toys or some, big boy toys, big girl toys or something like that. Don't use it to go clear your credit cards and then go right back in and charge your credit cards up again. Pay off the debt and walk away from the debt is the best thing that you can do. Now, as far as preparing for your pantry and your medical supply and the things that you need, health and beauty, all that stuff that you need on a daily basis, I say continue to put things back that your family uses. Buy extra if you can. Buy 5 or 6 extra cans if something's on sale. Maybe let's use peanut butter for example. Say you go into your local grocery store, your big box store, and peanut butter is on sale for say it's on sale for $2 for a 16-ounce container, and normally it's $3.50 or something like that. So that would be the time that you would choose to try to buy a whole case of it. Now that sounds crazy, and if it's just one person in your family, maybe a whole case of peanut butter is not something that you need. But if you're trying to prepare for X amount of time, a year's supply or whatever, a flat of peanut butter is not going to last in my household. I have 3 little grandsons and a son that love peanut butter. And so if that's something that goes on sale and your family uses a lot, maybe you have a little bit of extra money, and so you would punch it towards buying a flat. Maybe you go beyond buying 1 or 2 jars of it, and you buy the whole flat of peanut butter or jelly or something else that goes on sale and that your family uses a lot of it. Sometimes I've seen evaporated milk go on sale, and at a really, really good reduced price, and I'll buy a whole case of evaporated milk. Different things like that. You just always are shopping and looking for good deals and good bargains. Some people would suggest being a couponer. Now, I cannot for the life of me figure out couponing. I understand the concept of a coupon, but I have this fear when I see these people making these big deals, like say for instance Dollar General, and they say here's things you can get this week, stack these coupons, do all of this, and go to the register and do this. And my biggest fear is that I get to the register and the deal won't work. Well, I mean, obviously you just say I don't want the items, but I cannot figure out. I know people that have very, very stocked pantries and health and beauty supply from couponing, and they'll have Christmas presents and birthday presents bought up for the next year because they got them not from couponing, but on deals that the stores were having and stuff. And I just haven't quite figured all of that out. So until I figure that out, I really can't give you a lot of advice on couponing. But I can tell you that couponing may be something that you want to look at. I know that you can get good deals on toothpaste and laundry soap and that kind of things using coupons. I really want to encourage your hearts with all of the things that we're hearing, that you take a step back and don't let the fear rule you. Don't run out and spend thousands of dollars because of fear. Yes, you need supply, but you don't need to go out in a flurry when you're fearful and you're concerned and you're worried, because that's when you become one of those people that hoard a whole bunch of stuff that you're not going to use. You're going to be one of those that are cramming your cart full of stuff. You get it home, get it on the shelf, and then it just sits there because you don't use it. Think sensibly. Make you a master plan, a master list. That's always the first place that I go, is try to keep track of the things that we know that our family uses, the things that we go through. That especially if you're a person that's an ingredient person, then what your recipes and your menus are, the things that you fix for your family. If you need pasta and you need tomato sauce and you need all of these different things, then you can kind of prepare accordingly. You can see, I need this, this, and this. And then as you get that, you can increase your time. Then you can extend the amount of time that your pantry will supply for you. For instance, you can say, I want to have a pantry that's stocked for 3 months. And then you accomplish that and you go to 6. And then you go further and further out, and you're pushing it out to a year or so, a year and a half. And it's easy to do when you take it step at a time. You don't eat the whole elephant at one time. It's a bite at a time. And you'll cause yourself to get overwhelmed, and you're already overwhelmed because you're in fear of the things that are going on in the world. And I'm not telling you that they're not scary things, but I will tell you, as a Christian, you know, we know that these things are coming down the line, and we just prepare the best that we can, and we keep ourselves ready. The other thing that I would say is some encouragement for your children and your grandchildren. I remember when 9/11 happened, Blade was almost 3 years old. Now, they didn't understand what was going on, but they knew something was going on because of the way we adults were responding, the way that life changed for a lot of people in that moment, in those moments, and the things that followed after that. And I will tell you that always make sure that you have some things prepared, not just for a worldwide emergency, but even state emergencies and health and family. Have some things prepared so that when all of this crazy stuff is going on, you have something that you can put into the hands of your child or your grandchild and kind of pull them away from all of the things. And I say coloring books and crayons is a really simple thing. I have a box of stickers. We have construction paper and old boxes when boxes come in the mail, when we receive a package. And I let those kids color on those boxes, on the inside of the boxes. They get inside the box, if it's a big box, of course. Color in the box, stick stickers all over it. They play, they use their imaginations, and they just escape the chaos and the concern that is going on all around them. Don't forget those babies. As they get older, you might try to have a tub of stuff that they play with on a daily basis, but have a tub that's set aside so that you know that you have some stuff for that time too. Like I said, coloring books and crayons, pencils, drawing paper, stickers, activity books. My little ones are learning to put those little stand-up puzzles and things like that to Legos. There's all kinds of things, and they don't have to cost a lot. You could go to the dollar store, Dollar General, or even Walmart is competitive priced on some of that little stuff. Even little toy farm animals and no, Sadie, toy farm animals and I would say slime, but we did slime and it was not a good experience for us. Maybe for little older kids, Play-Doh. There's all kinds of things that can help you, help your children in a time when everything is crazy and chaotic, to de-stress. And I'll tell you, you might find that the coloring books and crayons can help you de-stress as well. It's important for us to keep control. I know that we all react differently in chaos. We all react differently when there is something that happens worldwide, and it's a scary thing. We all react differently, but if we can learn ahead of time to control ourselves, control our emotions, know that we have a well-stocked pantry and we have supplies on hand, that we're not worrying about having to go and get those things, to make ourselves prepared. We start now buying. Don't clear out your bank account to go buy stuff. Work on getting your debt paid. Do the things. If you're doing something towards helping in this situation, you'll feel better about yourself. Put a Bible in that box too, but don't make it your only Bible. Keep a Bible handy and read. People say meditate. Well, I say, meditate on the Lord. Meditate on His Word. Pray. Get you a prayer life. Have a relationship with the Lord, because even when things are coming down around your ears, the Lord can give you peace. The Lord can give you joy. And I know that firsthand because He's done it for me many, many times. The world has seemed like it was on fire for me. I have been in a boat that had a hole in it, I thought, and the water was filling it, and it was sinking fast, and the Lord heard my cry. So after all the other preparations that I have counseled you to do and to get, the number one counsel for me would be to make sure that you have a good and lasting relationship with the Lord, and rely on Him. Make Him your friend. Talk to Him on a daily basis, more than you talk to anybody else. You can talk to Him while you're washing dishes, feeding the dogs, working on the factory line, whatever it is that you do on a daily basis, the Lord can be right there with you. And I would suggest, as my number one preparation in a chaotic time, is to know Him as Lord and Savior and have a relationship with Him. Okay, guys, so I hope that I've helped you today, encouraged your hearts just a little bit in this scary time, this time where we don't really know all the ins and outs and how this is all going to play out with these countries and all of the stuff that's going on. If we'll find the time to prepare ahead of time and de-stress and be joyful and have peace in our life, then we'll survive, and you won't be in that line with all the other people that's hoarding toilet paper. Hey, I love you guys. I really do. Keep looking well to the ways of your household. That preparation, this household, your individual household, look well to it, making sure that you're reading the Word and spending time praying and talking to the Lord. He will listen. Sometimes we feel like we're so far away, but I'm talking to the prodigal. You can come home. There's always room back at the Father's table. Until next time, guys, we're gone.